Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm taking a look at a new eyeshadow palette. I feel like it's been a while since I've looked at a new eyeshadow palette, and so I looked up and I thought, oh right, I did the Patrick Ta a couple of weeks ago and a couple of weeks before that a Dior, but nothing is really kind of doing it for me. The Patrick Ta, the bottom row, the mattes I really liked, the creams I loved. The shimmers I felt were a little too chunky. Anyway, I'm just putting off what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing, you guys. I'm doing a KKW palette. This is the Camo Palette. Now, no one I follow talks about KKW, and I haven't seen any, but you know how the algo is. On YouTube, they tend to show you the same things over and over again, and you know, if you watch a video from Dodo, suddenly a bunch of Dodo videos come out. Not that I regret a single video I have watched from Dodo. I'm sure people are out there doing it, but no one that I'm following. This is what the palette looks like. And it's very interesting to me because I do love khakis, and it's something I've been trying to find the perfect palette. There is one from Charlotte Tilbury, but it's all shimmer, which is hard for me being that I'm hooded. I don't want a lot of reflection up here. I want to be very careful about it. And I'm also reminded of the Natasha Denona palette, Metropolis. I'm not saying it's alike, but I'm saying a portion of that palette does have colors like this in it. Now, as far as I know, and I haven't researched this, but Kylie is produced by a company called Seed. And I'm assuming that KKW is also done by Seed. Seed also did Tante's palette, but they're probably best known for ColourPop. So I'm thinking that's probably the quality of shadows we're going to get here. I think ColourPop actually very nice shadows for the price. Are they a Natasha Denona? They are not. But they're very nice. They don't self-blend after you put them on your eyes. You know, they don't migrate all over the place and suddenly all that work you did in articulating an eye looks like nothing, or they don't fall off. I'm sure you've had that experience where you look a couple of hours later at your eyes going, where did my eyeshadow go? So they're not bad shadows at all. The price of this is a little bit high to me. I did some math again, you guys. God help us all. There are 20.4 grams of product in this. It's $52. That works out to $2.54 per gram. And I did the Patrick Ta, which is $3.14 a gram. And I thought that that palette was expensive at $68 because you can get the midi of a Natasha Denona for $65. But her pans are a little bit smaller, I think. Again, the information that I find online about Natasha Denona gram weight is confusing, but one of them has said it's 19.25 grams, but I thought her pan size was the same as Patrick Ta's, which is 1.8, and she has 15 colors while he has 12 colors. So again, a little confusing, but let's assume she has 19.25 grams of product total, but I don't think she does. Then she would be $3.37. But I'm not really sure that's right. And I'm far too lazy to pick up a palette, which would explain it all. Anyway, I thought we would take a look at this. Oftentimes, I will do swatches by color category rather than by row. That way we can tell if something is repetitive or derivative. You know what I mean? So we're going to do the same thing. So first I'm going to take the mattes, because these could be transition shades or brow bone shades depending on your skin tone. So matte, 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 matte. So mattes in the beigey zone. So here we go. These are the mattes. I think this could work on just about any skin tone because it's not too light. This one has a reddish undertone, and this one is a more neutral, and this one has a greenish olive undertone. And I think this is super, super thoughtful, well laid out, because you should turn off my sound. As I was saying, because your undertone could determine what shade you're using. If you were cooler, you do this. You know what I mean? If you are warmer, you do this. Or if you're olive toned, you do this. I like, even though it's kind of repetitive in that These two are definitely the same depth of tone. I think this one's a little bit darker. It just opens it up to different skin tones. Now I want to do the colors here in matte, here, here, and here. And you know what? I missed this one. And there are the matte shades. I think they're lovely, really. And I'm going to do the shimmer shades in green. This one, and I think there's something like that in the Denona Metropolis, and this one. And that's what they look like. So, whoops. This one's a little bit more sage, more traditional khaki, and this one is a different kind of formula. And then finally, the gold. And I don't even know what to call this one. That seems a little more green than I was expecting. It's not. When I'm looking at it this way, it's like a silvered taupey kind of color, but it also seems a little greenish. And there you have it. So let's take these puppies out for a ride and see what they're going to do. I am wearing the Makeup by Mario base, and I have powdered that. So I'm just going to, I guess I'm going to go in with this kind of dark vanilla shade. And it is a little dusty. And put that all over the lid. But not too high. I'm going to take this small blender, I think it's called a booster from Sonia G, and go in with this brown. And I'm just kind of working that in the area where I would have a socket, if I had a socket. And we're testing it to see how it works in crepey skin. I did try this yesterday, but I didn't prime first. And I am seeing a difference in how it behaves. I think I like it a little bit better without a primer. And just fade that down. Not bad. I think it's kind of interesting that this is coming out now, because when I look at this palette, I think fall. I don't think spring. I don't think summer. I think fall and winter. And I do wonder, I've seen this a couple of times with other palettes coming out, if there was just a delay because of the virus in getting stuff done for some companies. I'm not really sure the thinking behind that. I'm going to go in with this khaki green, kind of the star of the show. And I probably should have used a smaller brush for my eyes. And, you know, I can kind of understand why I haven't seen people I follow use this. I don't think of, when I think of the Kardashian-Jenner brand, I don't think quality. You know what I mean? You know, it's not something that just bathes me in, ooh, confidence. It's doing what I want it to do. It does take a little bit of work, but for me, everything does. Really, there's very few products that just are effortless for me, and especially considering this is a darker color. I'd say I'm having a better application with this than I did with the Melt Gemini palette. Now, I think it's really interesting that they have this cool corner right here. So you could take this warm, you could take it cool, this sage green or this lovely kind of taupey color and this stone kind of color, or you can take it to the warm zone with this one and this one. I think for me, I'm going to take it to the warm zone, primarily because I didn't go in with this cool color here. I went in with this one. And I'm going to go in with this one, which is another olive. And this is really nice. If you are looking for something super reflective and super shiny, I don't think you're going to find it here. But if you want just something a little bit more than a satin or a high shine satin, maybe, you will find it here. And I think that's actually very pretty. So far, tonality-wise, it does remind me of the Charlotte Tilbury, which I think has had two names. She does that two-name thing a lot, and you really have to be a devotee of that line to know, oh, this used to be called that. I'm not that person, so I think it was Rebel, but I think it was called something else as well. But it's the same kind of tonality without everything being a shimmer. And I like that so much because I really don't want anything reflective right up here. Now, what's interesting to me is while I think this is actually really well laid out and trying to give something to many different skin tones, and you can get a couple of different undertone stories here, I mean, far better than many palettes that I've seen. If I want something light right here, it's not there. There's the cool shade, but I'm not sure how I feel about having a cool shade in with this because I feel like I have some warmth going on, and there's definitely warmth in this shade, but we're going to do it. I think I'm just going to make a little bit of room for it, just the teeniest bit, and take off a little bit. And, oh, you know what? This works. I am hardly touching. This is very pretty. I'm going to go in with my Chikuhodo and just do a final little blend here. And I don't want to bring it too high. And then we'll do some liner. Now, of course, I could go much bigger and bring that dark color further up so you can see it and, you know, wing it up a little bit higher than what I have going on here. But I'm trying to do a day look, and I think I've achieved a day look. But it doesn't mean we can't have a little fun with liner, and I happen to have the Charlotte Tilbury double-ended liner in khaki that I kind of want to play with. So here's the Charlotte Tilbury pencil, and I thought I'd try this dark color and do a little something here. Do a thin liner all the way around, and even work between the lashes a little bit. And this is even larger magnifying mirror, and I do see the teeniest bit of fallout here. It looks like it might be from the khaki, but not on this side. When I say the khaki, I mean the matte color. I'm going to go ahead and do my under eyes. I'm going to brush out the sunscreen from my eyebrows and do a little bit of that, some mascara, and then we'll finish up the face with some blush and lips. A little mascara, a little eyebrow, and I'm really enjoying this eye. So let's talk about cheeks. Rolling up the sleeves, I think that the Lisa Eldridge Dante's Dream would be ideal. I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit and shake it a little bit first, but I thought this would be an ideal color for this kind of fall look. I'm still perplexed, I am. I'm not gonna lie. That's Lucy. I think the shade is so very neutral, and I'm going to open my door all the way before we wrap it up so you can get an idea of the color with a little bit more light. But looking in the mirror, I think this is an ideal color for this kind of an eye. It gives you a little bit of blush, but it's just kind of, it's not too warm, it's not too cool, it's not too pink. It's just a nice sophisticated cheek color for an eye like this. And for lips, I thought I would look at a couple of Lisas that are not new. So I was thinking of Velvet Affair or Fawn. Affair, I mean, yeah, but we'll end with Fawn. Hello. I do like this very much, but I do feel now my face looks a little bit dead. I am going to go in with a little bit of the Venetian red just to bring some life back to my face. It doesn't take much. Life. so easy. I'm just a person that I feel like I need a little brightness on my cheeks, and now this lip no longer is deadening me. So this is one. And now I want to go in with Fawn. And a little bit of liner for me. I like this one quite a lot. Now you could also go in with a gloss, and I was thinking, now I kind of regret I didn't get, I think it was The Affair is in a gloss from Lisa Eldridge, and I don't have anything quite like that. You could certainly do that. But I really like this. Is it reading summer? I'm gonna say no. So I don't understand it. Let me open the door and then I'll come back with my conclusions. And voila, with the door wide open, and maybe this changes the look a little bit. And this is what the eyes look like. And the eyes open, just in time for the birdies who haven't been singing at all. And yeah, okay, so what do I think? I think this is solid, you guys. It's not, it doesn't feel like a Pat McGrath or a Natasha Denona as far as the powders go. But they were not hard to work with at all. And the coloring is very good. Now I wish I could remember when I played with it the other day how long it lasted. I'm going to assume that it's your average last. I mean, it's not fading so far. So that is good. And I forgot to powder under my eyes. I apologize. I think the way they put this together is super smart. It's smarter than a lot of palettes that I see, where I'm just going to pick on Melt for a little bit. Like I look at the Gemini and think, wow, I really like these colors. But then when it comes to putting them on my face, I'm like, you know what? Once you apply them, several of these colors look the same. So maybe there needed to be a better variation or more step ups in tonality or depth of tone between the colors. And I don't have that problem with this. Those shadows were impossible to blend. They were so horrible on crepey skin. It's just maddening. And I don't remember that they adhered very well either. So when I compare this to Gemini, yes, Gemini has those mustards that are so beautiful, and they have some colors that I really like, including, actually, there's a color similar to this, but it doesn't look like that. But that's a very pretty thing. And I think I've seen this in Natasha Denona's Gold palette and in Metropolis, something like this. I quite like it. We'll just put it on. It's more like a topper, and it's in the palette. It's definitely a duochrome. But I like it better than the Melt. Yeah. There is something so similar to this in the Metropolis. This totally changed the look, though, didn't it? The one in the Metropolis, I felt like it kind of fell under my eyes and made it for a sloppier look. Oh my God, words. So there's that, and that just kind of changes the whole look, I think, to, you know, some extent. We're still in the green family. I digress. I love the way they put it together. I think it's very smart. Okay, we've established that. Smarter than a lot of bigger, more luxury brands. I really, really do. And Melt specifically, but not only. I think the powders work very well. I love the ratio of matte to shimmer, so it's not like here's one matte or two mattes and the rest of it is shimmer. There's a nice gradation here, and there are definitely cooler ways to go and warmer ways to go. And here's the sage as opposed to more of an olive, and then this green. I think they just kind of really, ratio of textures and ratio of color did a great job. Work well on the lids. You guys, I came with a point of view of, no, I'm not going to do this brand. But there wasn't much out there for me that was that interesting, that wearable. So I did it, and I have to say, this is a solid palette. So if you also are like me and just feel like, they're just cash grabbing, making money off of their name, I'm not expecting any quality, this is not bad. And I wouldn't even, that's not even a compliment. This is not bad. This is solid. This is solid. And for someone who's hooded, someone who's crepey, it's darn good. Yeah, I hope that she continues to do palettes that are organized like this, because thumbs up, absolutely. And that's it, you guys. I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope maybe, could I inspire you to try something that you haven't wanted to try because of who's behind the brand? Maybe this is that time, and just look straight up at the product, because this one is worth doing. That's it. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope it might have inspired you, and I hope you come back again. It would help me a lot if you were to give me a thumbs up. I am hoping and trying to build this channel and posting, and I think those thumbs might really help out if you wouldn't mind doing that. And if you are new, take a look at a couple of my videos and see if I'm not too terribly annoying, and you might find something useful, or you might be entertained, or you might be someone who likes my voice, and give me a follow. I'm also on Instagram from @the_hooded_lit. And that's going to wrap it up. Until we meet again, be smart and safe, and I'm wishing you good health.